still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
Coming into this race, they're saying this year all 36,000 of us will run together.
That one day
we will be unified under the Boston Strong umbrella.
This nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Unbelievable! The American dream is right here.
Bev Keflezighi wins the Boston.
This is your victory.
To Albert of Mainz, Father in Christ and most illustrious Prince, forgive me that I should dare to write to you. I make bold because it is my duty to serve you and to warn you of the crooked practices of those who claim to represent your grace.
95 theses, but the Pope ain't one. Listen up, all my people, it's a storm for the telling. About the sin and injustice and corruption I've been smelling. I met that holy kettle, then I started rebelling. Once I seen the fat indulgences that he been selling. Now the Catholics of the world straight up disgracing me. Just because I wear my finger at the papacy.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere on the 18th of April in 75. Hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year. He said to his friend, "If the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, hang a lantern aloft in the belfry arch of the North Church Tower as a signal light. 1 if by land, and 2 if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm for the country folk to be up and to arm." Then he said, "Good night." Lonely and spectral and somber and still. And lo! As he looks, on the belfry's height, a glimmer and then a gleam of light.
The redcoats are coming! Wake up your men and bring them to Lexington at once! Wake up! The regulars are coming! Wake up and be a free man or liberty...
He springs to the saddle, the bridle he turns, but lingers and gazes till full on his sight a second lamp in the belfry burns. A hurry of hoofs in a village street, a shape in the moonlight, a bulk in the dark, and beneath from the pebbles in passing, a spark struck out by a steed flying fearless and fleet. That was all, and yet through the gloom and the light, the fate of a nation was riding that night.
Hello, Chicago.
Could be a climactic moment here because in just about 25 seconds the polls will be closed in the state of California.
Because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
We have just learned
Barack Obama will become the 44th president of the United States. Anderson? Because they believed that this time must be different, that their voices could be that difference. The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
All units, the individual that I have on the phone is continuing to hear what he believes to be done. Okay, these units in the school, I got bodies here. Let's get the ambulances.
Months ago, in response to too many tragedies.
Day, there are more kids dying of gun violence than there are actual soldiers being lost in the wars we're fighting around the world.
NRA is an industry lobby group, and I can only imagine their objective is to sell more guns.
You to call them. I'm asking you to Facebook and tweet even Because Sandy Hook can't be like Aurora, it can't be like Tucson, it can't be something that just goes away with nothing changing until the next massacre. I would like us in this country to regulate our guns as much as we regulate our Sudafed.
Boston is waking up to face its new reality as a target of terror. In a heartbeat, the big city event with a small town family feel went up in smoke.
That we wear today, it doesn't say Red Sox, it say Boston. This is our city, and nobody gonna dictate our freedom. Stay strong.
Hundreds of refugees are streaming into Turkey to escape the increasing violence in Syria. There have been reports of a mutiny by Syrian troops, and where residents now fear government reprisals.
First this hour, it's being called a day of martyrs in Egypt today.
And in Cairo's main square, they're gathered for what could be the biggest protests yet.
I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's see racism.
Americans who send a message to the world, their voices could be that difference.
This is now my responsibility to do this.
To step up and say that we're not going to be intimidated and we're not going to let petty politics get in the